We are live at TBC Southwood for the FedEx St. Jude Championship. And the dream has come true. Tony Finau, winner of the last two PGA tournaments he's played in, is here with us live. I can't believe this.
Hey, where he be now?
Dude. I have worried so much that you were going to resent us, right? Because there's not a week that goes by that I don't get somebody sending a video of somebody screaming that at you at a tournament or some broadcaster saying it or whatever else. But you walked in here, I feel like you don't resent us.
Not at all.
You love
me?
it.
The exact opposite. I love it. My kids love it.
They do.
I have people sending me videos, DMs on Instagram, Twitter. I mean, Facebook. People like their kids. Tony Finau, where he be now? I mean, it's the greatest. It's the greatest thing. No, trust me. I love you guys, bro.
Oh, my God. This makes my life. You have no idea because it is a concern, right? There was a time last year where you're walking up 9. There's like a group of like 30 college kids all yelling it. And I'm like, oh, I'm standing there and I'm like, oh, no. Oh, no. I don't want him to start rolling his eyes at this.
Yeah.
But like you couldn't be cooler about it every time.
Hey,
I see these little kids. And you've got 5 kids, right?
That's right. Yeah, 5. I love the energy. The biggest part was your energy when you said it. I mean, are you kidding me? You got the green jacket on. I mean, you got the dancing animals behind you. I mean, it was just the greatest. I mean, it was like Chuck E. Cheese when I was a kid. I mean, you're playing the drums on there with the fake kit. I mean, it was the greatest thing. So when somebody first sent that to me, I don't know exactly who it was. I thought that was unbelievable. And then people started saying, Tony Finau, where he be now? I mean, I hear it all the time. So it's kind of become a thing, and I'm actually way cool with it, man.
Oh, I love it. I love this. And look, fair is fair. This was before Tony Finau was like winning every weekend and whatever, right? Like this was 3-4 years ago when that started to get hot.
Yep.
And then, we start to get now we got, because we were huge fans of yours, right? We were huge fans of yours. And I mean, you had some good Masters runs. You've had top 5s in all of these majors, but now these last couple of weeks, these last tournaments you've played in, you win these back-to-back. I watched a video the other day of you saying how special it was because it's history.
Yeah, that's right.
To pull it off because there's not a lot of guys that have won 2 weeks in a row. So what's been different? What's been different for the last 2 tournaments than the previous, couple of years for you, right? Where it's like doorstep, and then you break through, and then you turn around and get another one the next time.
Yeah. Honestly, I've gotten asked that question a lot over the last week. You know, what happened? Is there a flip of a switch, whatever the case? And honestly, the answer couldn't be more nonchalant. Really nothing. There's really nothing that changed other than I've stuck to my process, and I've always believed that I can go on special runs. I've always believed that I can do some special things in this game, and I never stopped believing in myself. And now I'm just enjoying. I think the success that comes from that type of attitude, that's all I can say, and I think I was also quoted saying, I think we're just getting started. I don't have plans to let up now. I didn't come all this way just to come all this way, as they say, right?
Yeah.
So I think I've definitely found some things that work, but it's been trial and error throughout my whole career, but I never stopped believing. Like you said, I was at the doorstep how many times? I failed in front of the world how many times in playoffs, in close calls on 18. I mean, I've been right there a lot of times. So to be able to now reap the reward of just not giving up and believing in myself and in my team, that's kind of why we're at where I'm at.
So where's that come from? Is it a book you read at one point? Is it a teacher you had at one point? Is it your parents?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where does that come from to where you know how fickle golf is, and we see golfers that, like, they run into some of the heartbreak that you've had.
Yeah.
It ruins them. We just don't even
right.
hear from them anymore. And then everything starts getting questioned, and it's very difficult. But that whole trust the process, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. Yeah, I got my heart broke, but I still believe that I'm doing the right things. Like, where does that come from?
I've always been like a very faith-filled person. And I just always believe that things will work out for your benefit. This life is full of trials, full of hard things. if we come out on the other side of it, we're only going to be better for it. You know, I think I was on SportsCenter earlier, and I was being interviewed, and they asked me about that, and I think the ultimate reward in life is coming out of your trials and being a stronger person. And I think that's what life is all about, you know. And I've been tried and tested. I feel like in a lot of instances, not only in golf, but in my personal life and different things, everybody has their own trials. But if we overcome them and come out on the other side, we're going to be a stronger person because of it, and that's the ultimate reward.
When were you the most down? The lowest?
Ooh, yeah. The 2020 Waste Management Open, that was a tough loss. And the reason why it is because that happened right before the pandemic, and we had a 13-week break. So that was you just had to marinate. So I literally had to marinate in that loss for 2.5 months, 3 months. And so that was a rough one because I had one hand on the trophy there, and I let it slip. And then in the playoff, Webb Simpson makes a 20-footer to beat me in that playoff. And this has nothing to do with Webb.
But you hate his guy.
Webb is one of my favorite people on tour, arguably my favorite. I love Webb and his guy, Paul Tesori on his bag. Those are two of some of my closest friends on tour. Nothing against Webb, but that was a stinger. And again, I had to live with that for the next 2.5 months. I had to think about the shots down the stretch. I didn't get a tournament to just forget about it.
Yeah, right.
And so that was a tough one. And I would say for my golfing career, that was the low. In my personal life, I lost my mom in 2011 in a tragic car accident, which when you don't get any time to say bye to this person that was such a big influence to you, or all of a sudden this person's here, and in an instant she was gone. So that was the lowest of my life, in my personal life, just because my mom was really everything to me. Right. I wasn't married at this time, and so I didn't have my wife, I didn't have kids, all this stuff. My mom was everything, just like I think she is to most people. Yep. And so she was that to me, and so. But I would say those are two of the more lower points in my life where there was some doubt and maybe some questioning on, is this the right thing? Am I doing the right thing, or why is this happening? All those types of things. I think normal answers for humans, but. I have a lot of faith in the Lord, and that kind of helped me through those times. And now here I am, stronger for it. I still struggle like any other human. There's still trials and errors and different things you have to go through. But, I think being a faith-filled person, it gets you through some of those moments. The
waste management thing, and then having to sit on that for a while. But with just that one, that's horrendous timing. Like at a normal tournament where it's like, man, if I'd have just done this, like anybody has those feelings after if you come up just short. What do you do? What do you do afterwards?
You let it fuel you to get better. That's
I'm saying right after. Like you're mad about it, you're down about it, whatever. Like what's your escape? Like I don't want to think about that putt. I don't want to think about that shot.
Yeah, luckily for me, a lot of people's escape is like alcohol. A lot of golfers, they like to drink. I don't. I don't drink. So a lot of the emotions I let marinate. But I have my kids. And the thing is, I have my family, my wife, who helps me just kind of get through it and know that golf is a huge part of my life. It's not everything. It's I've got a great family. I've got and that's
and that's the best, right? Because that's the best. I go through it too.
That's the best.
They kids, don't care.
They don't care. They don't know. They don't, no. And at this time they were all so young. It was like. I was dad, and I was, it's like time to play with him now. It's time to play with, toys and all that stuff. And I was happy to do that because it's like I want to forget about the other part of my life and that's what my family's for. And that's the great reminder of, for me having kids.
Do any of them care about golf? Do any of them play golf?
Now they do. My oldest absolutely loves it.
He's
absolutely in love with golf. Very talented, way more skilled than I was at his age. He's 10 years old. And he absolutely loves it. So it's really cool for me. He loves everything that I love. He loves basketball, listening to rap music, just really all kinds of music. But everything I do, he's like my mini-me, which is like, for me, like
the best.
Unbelievable. It's pretty amazing.
Speaking of basketball, the Jazz. That's your team. Yo, it's not going to look the same, Tony.
Yeah, that's right. It ain't.
It's not going to look. No Rudy.
That's right.
Maybe no Donovan.
Potentially. We'll see how that plays out. I'll say this. Danny Ainge ruined the NBA in the offseason. And this is what I mean by that. And Danny Ainge is one of my close friends. What I mean by he ruined the NBA, what he was able to get for Rudy Gobert is a crime. This is like This is a crime. They got 9 players for one. He took a whole team and their future for Rudy Gobert. So if you're Kevin Durant, if you're a team and you got to pick up Kevin Durant, you better give up your future and your whole team, literally your whole team in like your next 10 years. I mean, he ruined the NBA. The free agency is ruined because of Danny Ainge. I mean, what he was able to get for Rudy Gobert, you cannot trade anybody now. There's a reason why KD's not traded. There's a reason why it's hard to trade Spider Mitchell right now. I mean, these guys are mega stars. And can you imagine what these GMs are thinking now? Well, if you're giving that to Rudy, for KD, you better give up like the next 20 years and like 7 of your kids and like 13, right? I mean, seriously. So that was an unbelievable trade. I think for both teams, I think Minnesota's got a nice player in Rudy, but that's what I mean by that.
Future's bright.
I think the future is bright for the Jazz. They're going to continue to draft some legit players, I think. And as I mentioned, Danny's a great friend, and I think he's going to do a good job of turning that team around at the Jazz.
All right, last thing. What do you think about Memphis in this tournament? What do you think about? And in terms of coming here and times you've been here before and kind of what makes this special?
Yeah, well, honestly, I think about the wonderful golf course. I think about St. Jude Hospital. It's a place that I visited often while I've been here and had the opportunity to see these kids. It gives you a great perspective on life. I think about the commissary barbecue. I think about the food. I think that place is unbelievable. I'm a big foodie, so I love to eat, and I'll be hitting that a few times this week. And I think about the great fans. I think they really support this event, and they come out in bunches. So those are some of the things I think about when I come back to Memphis.
Awesome. This has been a real dream come true, man. We're huge fans of yours, and I can't thank you enough for agreeing to do it. Come on with us.
Thanks
for
having me, Chris.
Tony Finau, where he be now? Unbelievable. I can't believe this happened. I can't believe it.